Okay, so now Stein brings his knight to d7 so that he can, go for the c5 break. So to stop this, Fischer advances his b pawn further, and in the next move he can start pushing the a pawn, or maybe knight to b3 is also possible. Okay, so now Stein continues by capturing on d4, c takes d4, a5. He wants to deflect the b pawn. Okay, so Fischer captures on a5, and after that c5, a temporary pawn sacrifice by Stein. And you can see he wants to open up the center for his pieces even if it costs a pawn. And I know, there is a question which comes in your mind that why not rook takes a5? Why doesn't he, go for that a5 pawn? And guys, the idea is that here Fischer planned something crazy. I mean, first of all, he's going to play knight to b3, attacking the rook. And after rook to a8, queen to d3, preparing to push e5 so that he can target on h7. And if now black goes for c5 with the idea of pushing c4, and so the idea is if white pushes, e5, then simply c4. But guys, in this position, white can however go for the move e5. And guys, that's what Fischer prepared, allowing the move c4. And since this queen is attacked, so obviously white is going to, bring it to another square, right? No, because that's the beauty of Fischer. I mean, he prepared the move e takes f6, completely giving up the queen. And let's say if c takes d3, f takes e7, attacking the queen and the rook. So that's why this queen has to move. But then e takes f8 equal to queen, knight takes f8, and now if white captured this pawn, then obviously black is going to capture the knight, destroying the structure of white king. So that's why bishop to d1. And you can see now white has 3 minor pieces against the queen, but if you look closely at the position, obviously you can see this is winning for white. Okay, so in the game, after after the move c5, and now Fischer brings his queen to e2, piling up the pressure. I mean, let's say if black decides to play c4, if he tries to continue the pawn push, now white can play e6, attacking the knight. And if f takes e6, knight at e goes to g5, attacking the weak pawn on e6. And you can see what's coming next. So that's why bishop takes g5. But now comes this beautiful move. Can you guess the move? Yes, I think most of you got it, which is bishop takes h7 check. The idea is after king takes h7, now comes knight takes g5 check, king to g8, and queen takes e6 check, king to h8, knight to f7 check, rook takes f7, queen takes f7. And clearly you can see this position is winning for white. Okay, so in the game after queen to e2, yup. So in this position, Stein goes for knight to b6. And basically he wants to bring that knight into the game. But the problem with that move is it also removes a key defender from the king side. And by seeing this, Fischer immediately brings his knight on g5. And now he's ready to start the attack. And obviously Stein also realized that, so he tries to exchange the pieces. I mean, first of all, he captures the knight on e4 with bishop takes e4. And after queen takes e4, and since white is now threatening mate in 1, so Stein pushes g6. Queen to h4 by Fischer, with the same idea of queen takes h7 mate, but h5. And guys, now just take a look at this weak structure. I mean, now it's not easy for, black to defend this position. Okay, so Fischer now just brings it back to g3, knight to c4. And guys, now in this position, white must consider the move, e6, with the idea of knight takes e6 if, black recaptures with the pawn. But instead, he brings his knight back to f3, getting away from this, dangerous pair. King to g7, Stein defends the weak pawn, but queen to f4, and you can see what's coming next. So rook to h8, e6, ripping open the position and directly targeting the f7 pawn. So that's why Stein pushes f5. He wants to block the bishop diagonal, but in this position, Fischer goes for bishop takes f5. He sacrificed the bishop to blow up king's cover. The idea is if g takes f5, now comes queen to g3 check. And obviously king to f6 is not possible due to the threat of queen to g5 mate. And also f8 square is also not possible due to the threat of queen to g6 and then queen to f7 mate. So that's why the only best move for this king is this h7 square. But then bishop to g5, asking for bishop exchange. The idea is to bring the white pieces to attack, and obviously king to h6 is not possible due to the threat of knight to f7 fork. And even if black king goes to any different square, let's say if it goes to g8, and yes, now still white to this knight can give a check from f7 square, but there is even better move, which is e7, attacking the queen. And let's say if queen to e8, knight to e6 check, king to f7, only move is this, but then queen to g7, and guys, that's a mate. Just imagine the calculation of Fischer. That's crazy. So that's why after bishop takes f5, here Stein goes for queen to f8, attacking the bishop so targeting the bishop with the queen. And here the best move for white is now to consider the move knight to h4. And guys, the idea is after, let's say, bishop takes h4, queen takes h4, queen takes f5, and now if you think that white is losing, queen to e7 check, king to g8, queen to d8 check, king to g7, queen to c7 check, king to g8, e7, and you can see what's coming next. So so in the actual game, after queen to f8, let me go back. So here Fischer goes for bishop to e4, asking for queen exchange, and Stein happily accepted it because he wants that. Okay, so since as you can see, Stein brings his rook to e8 with the idea of bishop to f6, so that he can attack the rook as well as simultaneously target the pawn. So that's why Fischer just slides his rook to d1. Okay, so as you can see, Stein is now targeting the bishop, but guys, here Fischer goes for bishop to f3, And the idea is, if Stein captures on f4, which he actually does in the game, and then knight to e6 fork, king to f6, knight takes f4, knight to e5. And as you can see, Stein is now targeting the rook, so that's why rook to b7, so that he can give a check from b6 square. Okay, so now here Fischer, so basically Stein, brings his rook to f8, and his idea is to sack the rook on f2, so that after king takes, f2, then knight to d3 fork. So that's why, to avoid this, Fischer pushes now f4. He is now attacking the knight. So g takes f4, g takes f4, attacking the knight, so knight to f7. And now he gives a check from e6 square, and Stein defends with the knight, but f5. And you can see black can't capture the pawn due to the pin. So he brings his rook to a8, attacking the pawn on a4. So to defend this, rook to d2. But then rook takes a4, and guys, in this position, the final move by Fischer is f6. And here Leonid Stein resigned. This is because, let's say if black tries to stop the pawn with king to d7, then rook to e7 check, king to d8, knight to f5, asking for knight exchange, taking benefit of the pin. So, but if let's say black tries to target the knight with rook to f4, then rook to e5, and if king to d7, f7. And again you can see black can't capture. So black can't capture due to the pin. So that's why rook takes f5, rook takes f5, king to e6, but then f8 equal to queen. And that's all. Leonid Stein, guys, that's the same guy who has a great score against Mikhail Tal. Just imagine, even Mikhail Tal, didn't win a single game against him. So that's, guys, obviously not easy to tackle. But as we know, Fischer is Fischer. He's just a legend. So no need to tell about him. Like this video and I will see you in the next one. This is your host Bison signing off. Bye bye.